Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for Chapter 2 Geography Part 1 Abiotic Resources Land, Soil and Water. In this video, we are going to discuss about land resources. As we have already discussed that abiotic resources consist of non-living things such as minerals, rocks, metals, land, soil and water. And these abiotic resources are free gifts of nature for the living organism. Land, soil and water. These three are the most important abiotic resources of the earth. They also carry great economic benefits to the people. Now, the economic prosperity of a region is based on the availability of these resources. Now, these resources also encourage human settlements and population growth, and they can also influence the climate of a place. For example, if we take mountainous regions, they have rugged land surfaces and they limit human settlement. You can see less of the human settlement in the mountainous regions because of the geographical feature, because of the climate of that place. But when we look into the plain regions, they are fertile, they have fertile soil, they have plenty of water, and because of these things the people are encouraged to settle down there. So you can see that land, soil and water, these things can influence the climate of the place as well as the settlement and population growth of the place. Now, they also influence growth of plants, animals and inorganic materials over a longer period. And it can be said that these resources are vital for human survival as well as for maintaining the quality of life. So, here we will discuss about the land resource. So here we will discuss about land resources, and land resource refer to the shape, form and nature of the land surface. And if you see, almost all the activities are associated with the land resource. The land resource provides shelter to living organism and non-living substances. And also these land resources of the earth contain lofty mountains, flat plains, high plateaus, islands, etc. are there on the land resources only. And they provide all the essential products for satisfying human needs. And if you see, 30% of the total area of the earth's surface is covered with land. And about 90% of the world's population occupies only 30% of the land area. And also all part of the land resource are not equally habitable. Some part are sparsely populated, some are densely populated, and some are there which is uninhabited. So here we will discuss which areas are less habitable areas, which are highly habitable areas. So in less habitable areas we have mountainous areas which is having steep slopes and rugged terrain. Those are less habitable areas. The extreme cold and extreme hot regions, they are also less habitable areas. The areas which have water logging, those are also less habitable areas. Now thick forested areas are also less habitable areas. When we look towards the highly habitable areas, we have river valleys. Plain areas have fertile soil and thus they are highly habitable areas. Grasslands like prairies. Here you can see a world map of world population. The picture which is in brown is having above 200 person per square kilometer. Now you can see the next category is 101 to 200 person per square kilometer. Then you have in purple 51 to 100 person per square kilometer. Then you have the orange one 10 to 50 person per square kilometer, and you have the yellow color which indicates below 10 person per square kilometer. So you can see the uneven distribution of population among this land resource. Now different types of agricultural activities, forestry, mining, buildings, houses, etc. are performed on the land surface. These kind of activities are performed on the land surface, and these are collectively termed as land use. Now this land use refers to land under ploughing, that means agriculture, grazing of animals, land used for roads, buildings, mining, manufacturing, marshland, waterland, and land under forests. The people have their own land on which they do farming or make houses, etc. But that all comes under the land use. Now we will discuss about the types of land. So on the basis of ownership, land can be divided into private and community land. So private is which is owned by individual, and this private land is used by an individual or his family members. And this kind of land is used for the personal purposes only. Whereas when we talk about the community land, it is for the common purpose, like collection of fruits, grains, nuts, water, vegetables, medicinal herbs, etc. So it is owned by a community and it is for the common purpose. The community land is also termed as common property resources, which can be used by the community and which is having the common purpose. Now we will discuss about the land use pattern. So you can see the variation in the land use pattern among the nation in the world. Now the term land use pattern is used to indicate different uses of land. So here you have a map which shows the land use in the world. So you can have green color which is showing the forest area with timber, some hunting and fishing agriculture in the tropics. Then you have light orange, you can see animal farming on large farms. Then you have dark orange, farming of crops and animals on large and small farms. Blue color is the man fishing areas. You can see these are the coastal areas. Now you have the desert and wastelands, and some small areas of agriculture in oases or places that have been irrigated. So like this you can see the land use in the world. Now in the world, all countries have their own private and community land, which is there for the survival of people, and people use them for several purposes. So here we can see some important land use in some of the important countries of the world. So you can see the percentage of area is given and why it is used, for what purpose it is used, that is given, and the country name is given. So we have Australia and Brazil. So here we have Australia 6% cropland, 56% pasture, 14% forest, and 24% for other use. Like this you can see for many of the countries it is given: Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, in India also, Japan, Russia, UK and USA. We can see the data of India also. So 57% we have as cropland, 4% we have pasture, 22% we have forest, and 17% is there for other use. So when we take the whole world, a percentage of whole world, we have 11% of cropland, 26% of pasture, 31% of forest, and 32% we have for other use. Now by seeing this chart, we can have this conclusion: Australia, which is having 56% of the area under pastures, and India has under croplands, that is 57%. So India has the highest percent under cropland and Australia have under pastures. Now when we go to Japan, it is a small country, still it is having 3 times more land under forest when it is compared to India. Now when we take USA, it is one of the world's leading grain exporter, and it has only 21% of land under crops, whereas when it is compared to India, India has 57% of area under croplands. Now among these countries, India has considerably high percentage of area under croplands. Now here we will discuss about the factors affecting land use pattern. What are the factors which affect the land use patterns? So when you see, the land use pattern is not same everywhere in the world, as we have just seen in the data, but it is highly uneven, and it is influenced by some of the factors which are climate, topography, types of soil, availability of water, minerals, technology and human resources. These are some of the factors which affect the land use pattern. So first we will discuss about the climate. Now land use pattern of any place is directly or indirectly influenced by the climate condition. As you know, the climate condition is very harsh in the polar and equatorial regions, because the polar region has the are the coldest regions, and when we talk about the equatorial regions, they are the hottest regions. So when you see, these areas are not suitable for croplands or pastures. Only tiny shrubs and thick forest can be found in these areas. But the areas which have mild climate condition, they support pastures and agricultural activities. So you can see the climate is the factor because which can affect the land use pattern. Second is topography. Now, well-drained plain regions provide suitable conditions of agricultural activities and pasture. And this type of land use pattern attracts a huge number of people. So the topography is also important. Also, it can affect the land use pattern. Now we have types of soil. The types of soil also can affect the land use pattern. When you see the areas which have fertile soil, there you can find adequate and well planned land use pattern. But when you go to areas like cold and hot deserts which have infertile soil, they are free from proper land use. You cannot see a well planned land use over there because they have infertile soil. The same way, the next factor is availability of water. This is also an important factor, and it is also needed for well developed and planned land use pattern. Now all types of forest, crop, pastures, etc., they need plenty of water. And this is water is the basic need for all living beings. It is essential for our survival too. So its availability is essential for settlement and land use pattern, because without water there cannot be forest, crop or pastures. Next we have minerals. Now these mineral deposits also influence the land use pattern. How? Let's take an example. A region which has mineral deposit, that region can be used for mining purposes. Huge industries can be set up there. Also, these areas are suitable for industrial growth. Next is technology and human resources. And these are two sides of a coin. Human resource use technology to convert the raw natural resources into valuable products which fulfill the requirement of the people. This you have already read in the chapter 1. So you can see the human resource are also essential with technology for the successful land use pattern. Now here we have some questions to check your progress. So here you need to prepare a list of private and community land of your surroundings. Why are they important for us? So you need to tell why are they important for us, what is private land and what is community land. So you need to prepare a list for that. Second is take a big chart and paste a world map on it. Show land use pattern of selected countries of the world on it. So you can do this exercise. You can take a world map and you can show some of the important countries as we discussed: Australia, India, so USA. These countries we have already discussed. So these you can show on the you can show in the activity. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.